We have him on the line right now, an Army veteran with NFL experience. Nate, first off, thank you very, very much for your service. It means very much to me and to everyone here at Chat Sports Studios. And we also thank you for coming on the program. How are we doing?
Good, man. So I haven't slept, but I'm hanging tough. Just a little stressed. We got a big, out in New York City, we got a big town hall tonight on CNN with Anderson Cooper coming up at 9 Eastern. So everybody listening should try and tune into that too. It'll be pretty interesting conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're on quite the media tour right now, if you will. I mean, Good Morning America, Piers Morgan. Now you're going to be on CNN tonight on the town hall. What do you expect out of that experience tonight?
I mean, it should be hopefully pretty uniting. I mean, it'll definitely have different viewpoints. It's going to be Spike Lee and Hines Ward, and I think Michael Bennett's going to call in, and Malcolm Jenkins, and a bunch of these guys, and myself, and Michael Faulkner out here in New York, and so we're just going to talk about everything going on. I hope we get to more of the root of everything, and not just talk about whether people are kneeling or not. So we can try to kind of collectively bring this country back together a little bit, man. Everyone's so damn divided right now. It's pretty frustrating.
It's actually unbelievable, Nate. And, I will argue that there are a lot of layers to this. I mean, it's getting more complex as we go throughout this process here. What do you think about what happened in Week 3 across the NFL? Do you think it was more symbolic of players trying to get back at Donald Trump and what he did during his rally, calling the players SOBs? Do you think it was more so pushing for progress with inequality? Do you think the message is kind of getting buried here with all of these side fights that are going on? There's a lot of layers, as I said.
Sure.
What's your impression?
Yeah, the message is definitely getting lost. I mean, the numbers and the teams thing in the locker rooms and doing stuff, that was all, so much of that was a direct result of the remarks, from the president. And it is what it is. It's not like we weren't already divided before he was even elected. We've had issues for quite a while here. So everybody that's trying to say it's all President Trump's fault, that's just ridiculous too, because it's not. We just have a problem in our country with there's a lot of entitlement from various groups, and everybody's so concerned with just being right and proving their point instead of actually trying to listen to the other side and work towards something together. Move forward with some listening and a little bit of giving. And initially, when I met with Colin, I mean, he did a little bit of that. He was he's very open-minded to hear my side of things, and he was willing to go from sitting to a knee, and kind of give a little bit there, which we need to get back to that and have more of that now, in my opinion, because it was crazy to see Alejandro Villanueva out there by himself, standing with his hand on his heart, almost like he was protesting, and he's just standing there for the anthem, and it was like a protest to the protest or something. It's crazy because that guy, I've heard nothing but good things about the guy. I've never had the pleasure of meeting him, but both from people in the military and people that play football with him. So it's wild right now. But hopefully, what we do well as a country is we come together in times of crisis and we figure it out. Whether it's hurricanes or 9/11 or whatever. So I'm hoping through this, we haven't had catastrophic loss of life from the stuff going on the football field. So that's a good thing. But now let's start to unite this country and use this as a sort of an instigation, to get that all going.
Absolutely, I'm sure the CNN
catalyst is a better word. Instigation.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure the CNN town hall tonight, Nate, will be very telling and hopefully bring some clarity. And I feel like we're at a point, Nate, where we need to think to ourselves, okay, where do we go from here? Okay, so we saw what occurred in Week 3 of the NFL and also on Monday night with the Dallas Cowboys and what their demonstration looked like. And now we have to start thinking about solutions. We have to think about a process here to kind of get a dialogue close-knit and finding a solution. And what I proposed on one of my shows here on Chat Sports was, why can't President Trump get 5 players who are kneeling, 5 players who are neutral on the matter, and 5 players who are dissenters of the kneeling, get them all together, create a dialogue, and this is like a private conference meeting type of setting, come out, have like a joint press conference and discuss progress. Do you think that's the best route to do right now, is to just to get all the differentiation of opinion in one room and work it out?
I mean, that's sort of happening at some level within the teams. What needs to happen is action more than just talking all the time. Like I want to see, and I've had offers from different police departments around the country, and it's like they're like, hey, I would love to have some of these players come to a ride along with us and just experience our side of it, and kind of see that, and they're willing also to go into some of these neighborhoods and especially some of the African American officers, maybe get them in more in plain clothes in these neighborhoods, maybe where the problem seems to be something that everyone feels so negative about. Just experiencing both sides of that, and then work towards bringing youth together. It's all about education, and bringing youth together with these officers, and working together from the ground level, so they don't have that fear growing up of the men and women in blue, because they shouldn't. I mean, they're here to protect and serve, and most of them do. And then a few of the bad apples that make those bad decisions, that shouldn't ruin the image of all of them. And we can't make those generalizations against police officers. That's the same thing that the African American community is fighting against.
Absolutely. And when you think of this situation here, you can't help but think of the veterans too. And I want to ask you, Nate, talking with your veterans friends in the community in regards to that, what is their stance on this matter? Are they divided kind of like America is right now in terms of kneeling and not kneeling, or is it somewhat universal?
No, they're definitely divided. But I would say so many more. I mean, we have a different relationship and experience to the flag and the anthem. I mean, we served overseas and fought in these areas for people, for other countries, for people that can't fight for themselves, not necessarily just for Americans. And many of them lost friends, and many of them all of them saw what it's like in these other places, the level of oppression that exists, and how fortunate we are here, what we have here, and these freedoms to go express yourself in the way that these people are doing, and to be able to play, a sport for millions of dollars. That is a privilege. That is not a right. It's a privilege. It's very, very fortunate to be able to do that. Those guys definitely earned it. I'm not saying that the athletes didn't earn it 100%. They all did. They worked very hard. But it's not like that everywhere to have those opportunities. So, we still live in the greatest country in the world. We've got to understand that. But we can get better. We can always do better. And that's what makes us great, is we will never quit pursuing that. And that's why we're here today, and that's why we're talking about this stuff, because there's always things to clean up and improve on.
It also makes us great people like you, Nate, who go and defend our country. So people like me can have these silly on-air shows and act like a goofball. And so I really do appreciate you and what you have done. Looking forward to your conversation on CNN tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to tune into that. Follow Nate at Nate Boyer 37. Nate, I understand your schedule is absolutely insane. Can't imagine right now. So we really do appreciate you coming on the program. All the best to you.
Of course. Hey, thank you, guys.